Okay, so let's solve the angle between hands of a clock problem on LeetCode. We're given two numbers, hour and minutes, and we need to return the smallest angle in degrees formed between the hour and the minute hand. In this example, the input for hour is 12 and a minute is 30, so the angle between the two is 165 degrees. The way we're going to solve this is first we need to understand that the clock is a circle and a circle is 360 degrees. Now we're going to take a look at each hand. This is the hour hand, the shorter hand is the hour hand, and the longer hand is the minute hand. We know for a fact that the minute hand completes 360 degrees every 60 minutes. So if our minute hand started here at 12, it's going to take 60 minutes, 0, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's going to take 60 minutes to rotate 360 degrees. That means, if we do rule by 3, it's going to rotate by 6 degrees every minute, because 1 times 360 divided by 60, that's 6 degrees every minute. What does that help us achieve? What we're going to do is we're going to multiply the minutes that they gave us, in this case it's 30, by that principle that we just found, that every 1 minute is 6 degrees. So 30 times 6, for example, that's 180 degrees. And we're measuring this relative to the 12. So basically, if we had a huge line here from 0, 0 to 30, obviously that angle from between 0, 0 and 30 is 180 degrees, which is 30 times 6. Why we're going to do this is because now we're going to look at the hour hand and we're going to apply a very similar principle to it. And we're also going to get it relative to the 12 or the 0, 0. And then once we subtract them from each other, we're going to get the angle between the two hands. Now let's take a look at the hour hand. We know for a fact that every 12 hours, our hand rotates 360 degrees. That means, ruled by 3 once again, every 1 hour is going to rotate 30 degrees. But the hour hand also moves relative to the minute hand. And what I mean is that every time the minute hand moves, the hour hand also moves. But by how much? Once again, we know that we established that every hour, our hour hand will rotate 30 degrees. In other words, every 60 minutes, our hour hand will rotate 30 degrees. Therefore, in 1 minute, it's going to rotate, again, ruled by 3, 0.5 degrees. Okay, so with that established, or actually, I mentioned that we're going to take the minutes and multiply it by 6 to get the relative angle from 12. We need to do the same thing for hours. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to take the hour which they gave us and we're going to multiply it by 30. Okay? But we also need to account for the fact that the hour hand will move when the minute hand moves. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the hour hand, multiply it by 30, and then add to that 0.5, because the hour hand will move 0.5 every minute, and multiply it by the minutes which they gave us. Once we have that, will give us our hour angle, and we deduce what our minute angle is going to be. We need to subtract the two and obtain their absolute value, because we don't care about negatives or positives. And let's reach there before we do the final return statement. So also a quick note, they want us to return a double, not an integer. So let's go ahead. Double hour angle, like we said, is equal to the hour which they gave us times 30, since every hour the clock hour hand will move by 30 degrees, and we need to account for the minutes hand, because the hour hand will move with the minute hand, times minutes which they gave us. Double minutes angle is equal to minutes times 6. Now the angle between them is actually going to be the difference between the two. And remember, we want math.absolute because we don't care if it's positive or negative. Our angle minus minutes angle. But one more thing we need to consider is the fact that we want to return the smallest angle between the two. And I'll give you an example on what I mean. So math.min between difference and 360 minus difference. Why are we doing this final step? Let's say our hour hand was on 9 and our long hand was on 0, 0 or 12. If we go through the entire calculation, we're going to get 270 degrees. But we know that when the hour hand is at 9 and the minute hand is at 12, the smallest angle is 90 degrees, right? We want this one, not the farther one. So we're gonna return 360 minus difference, 360 minus 270, which is 90 degrees. And then math.min is gonna compare 270 to 90, and we're gonna return 90. So let's submit it and see if it works. Okay, so yeah, I hope you found that video helpful, and thanks for watching.